the primitive guys, they were the first here. And they had no peptidoglycan at all. He put out this theory in 1978. And it wasn't until 30 years later that his work was recognized. 2008, he won a Nobel Prize for his ability to demonstrate this thing. So it's really interesting to see how science works. And what I said to you is somebody comes up with a theory, and then everybody after them tries to dispel it and come up with their own theory. If you go to a scientific meeting, people are jumping out of their chairs because they can't wait to attack the speaker and tell them why it's working all wrong. It's a really exciting thing. It's also depressing. People want to talk about their own work, and they want to tell you, you don't know what you're talking about because my work is better than your work. So when you get a chance to go to a real scientific meeting sometime, it's really good. And also, I would love for you to be in the library looking at scientific journals and see how they're put together. So I recommend to you Nature and the AAAS journal because that's where original research shows up. AAAS journal, American Association for the Advancement of Science, puts out the journal Science, and they do it every week. And the other good one is Nature, and the third one I talked to you about is the Journal of Microbiology. These are great things to be looking at. It'll talk to you about science writing, it'll talk to you about science. They're not the modern ones like, I don't know, there are other modern ones that people read. Even the Scientific American is not a scientific journal. It's a pop culture magazine. And there are others, some of them are good, some of them are not so hot. There is a very tiny publication called the Science News, and that's like the little crawler on TV, you know, where you see who got shot, who got this. It's headlines, the headline news. But what they give you is the resource where you could read about it should you want to go and look it up in the original article. So it's like the Reader's Digest of Science. It's called Science News. It's maybe about 8 pages. It's like a newsletter. But there's good stuff there. And it will tell you what's going on, what people are doing, and how they're responding to the things that are coming out in the world. So, this is classification starting just with the two-kingdom system. And what you should take away from this is, if I show you the groups and I say, where does this appear in the two-kingdom system, you ought to know where. If I say the three-kingdom system, it would be this middle one. If I say the five-kingdom system, you should relate it to something in the last column. That's the level at which I'd like you to remember.
You should read that one more time.
Sorry?
You should read that, what you just said. Can you repeat that?
I'm sorry?
Can you repeat that?
Repeat what I just said.
Yeah.
I could. Did you want me to? What you should take away from this is, if I were to give you a group of organisms like fungi and say to you, where is this found in the three-kingdom system, you would be able to select the right answer. Okay, that's an example of a question. In the three-kingdom system, where do fungi belong? And then you would have to pick out where they would belong, and what would your answer be? Plant kingdom. Yes, Robert.
I'm sorry, caught up here. Woolsey, how many kingdoms did he recommend? 3 as well?
Yeah, 3. He
So
has 3 kingdoms. He separates out the eukaryotes, and then he takes bacteria, which are the prokaryotes, and puts them into either the eubacteria or the archaeobacteria.
Okay.
The archaeobacteria arrived, millions and millions of years ago, and they didn't have any peptidoglycan. Once peptidoglycan evolved, then they became the eubacteria. So we don't have any illnesses that come from the archaeobacteriales. All of ours come from the eubacteria. They're either gram-negative or gram-positive. If they're gram-positive, they have a big thick peptidoglycan wall. If they're gram-negative, they have very little peptidoglycan and they can't hold on to the gram stain. So this is gonna be moving us through a lot of information as we go along, because one of the indicator tests that we will learn to do in 2 weeks is the gram stain. And if you do the gram stain correctly, you divide the bacterial world into those that are gram-positive and those that are gram-negative. And the significance of that is that all antibiotics are not good with all organisms. Some are good with gram-positive, others are good with gram-negatives, and they're not the same. So your doctor would like to know, do you have a gram-positive organism or gram-negative? Because then he knows what antibiotics to put you on. So this does fit together in a way, and this is the way we're kind of looking at it. Where do we put those 7 groups? The viruses don't fit anywhere. They don't fit anywhere because they are acellular. If they had a wall or a structure, we could put them somewhere. They don't. They are particles.
They're not in any, they're not gonna be any of those.
They are nowhere.
So if you asked us.
That's right. None of these would be the answer. Okay? So I try to give you, as we go along, representative things that would show up on the test. What you should think about with this is it seems to be really important whether you're a prokaryote or a eukaryote. And the cell biologists, that's all they want you to think about. They don't care about the rest of it. Think about the cellularity. If you have a nucleus, you are a eukaryote. And you will behave the way all eukaryotes behave. If you don't have a nucleus, you are a prokaryote, and your function will follow the structure of the prokaryotic cell. So there's one very important thing I would like you to never, ever, ever forget.